Hey guys, I'm so happy to see you here again, and we are solving together the map questions for IELTS listening. I know how much you have been waiting for this video, and I'm here to help you, and let's just clarify everything together because I know how difficult it might be from time to time, although I believe that listening questions and reading questions, those two modules on IELTS are the easiest ones because you just get to work with the information that is already given. You don't have to invent anything as you usually do on your writing and speaking sections. So let's just get right into it. Today, all the examples that I will show you are taken from the actual IELTS tests. So please do not comment down below, oh, these questions are so easy. I wish they were like that in the actual IELTS test. They are, because they are taken from the actual papers, guys. Now, what makes you feel they are easy is the structure that I provide to you and the strategies that I give you. And when I use them, it really feels that everything is super easy because it is. I really try to make everything look and sound easy because of the skills that I use and the strategies that I use. Again and again, it's the strategy that makes it easy, not the actual questions, because the actual questions are from the real IELTS tests. Now that we have clarified that, let's start. We will work today on 3 different maps and how we will structure it. So first, I will show you the map here, and then we will listen to the recording, and you will try to do it on your own, just listening to the recording. Try to answer all the questions on the map. And then after that, we will do it together, and I will show you what sentences exactly contain the correct answers and how to locate them. And as always, you are able to download the worksheets with this practice from the description box down below. I have linked everything. You can download and print them with the maps, with the transcripts, with the answers, so that you can just go back to this video and practice on your own. So we are starting with the first map. Listen to the recording.
So, let's get on with the map. You've already got a version of it in your brochures, so if you can open them to the last page so we can have a look. Very well. As I showed you before, the actual school is right over there in the middle. That's where you'll be having most of your classes. Adjacent to it, you'll find the main hall, which is where we'll be hosting most events, such as today's lunch. On the left from the main building, you'll find a smaller building, which is where the accommodation and welfare offices are located. This is labelled as the garden office at the front, and it's easy to spot because it has a green door. Each of you is assigned to a different residence hall. We've got 3 residence halls in total, 1 on the left and 2 on the right. The one right next to the garden office is Ursula Hall, named after our founder's sister, while the other 2 are Peter Hall and William Hall. Now, as you can see, there are 3 more buildings to the left of the semicircle here, and 1 more building on the right-hand side, next to William Hall. So that one, which is shaped a bit like a dome, is the pavilion. This is where all your letters will be delivered, and in the basement floor you'll also find a laundrette. Please make sure you've got plenty of £1 coins, as you'll need one for the washing machine and another for the dryer. And that row of buildings on the left, the one closest to us here at the gate, is the canteen, where you'll be able to buy snacks as well as breakfast, lunch and dinner, on days when we don't have an event with food provided. The next one is the gym, which is open from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. from Monday to Friday, and until 10 p.m. at the weekend. And the last building, right over there, is the study centre, where you'll find plenty of computers and books, as well as a great selection of DVDs and magazines that you can borrow with only a small refundable deposit of £5.
Now let's try to do it together. The first thing that you usually do with your maps is reading them, trying to anticipate what is going to happen basically in the recording. And this is the most useful skill that you can imagine on your IELTS test, because you will be only given 30 seconds for each question on your listening, and those 30 seconds should be really spent on trying to understand the whole map and trying to visualize it in your head, and then anticipating what kind of parts of the speech, what kind of words you are looking forward to, and this just really helps you and saves so much time. Now, here is the map that we will be working with right now. And here on my table, I have my laptop with the transcript so that I will read you out loud the correct sentences with answers. And if you see me looking there, it's just I'm looking at my laptop. Okay, let's have a look at this map first. What do we see? We really see that this is probably a plan of a school campus because we have a school right on top of it, and then it is surrounded by halls, gym, and all those things that you probably usually see at a school campus. And therefore, we probably will hear words that correspond to the school layout, right? And if you see, for instance, on the left and on the right, you see there are halls, Ursula Hall and William Hall, and probably you can anticipate that number 17 will also be a hall, and the number 17 will probably also be a name because you see that William Hall and Ursula Hall have names of people, like proper nouns in the beginning, and therefore number 17 is probably a proper noun. This is already the anticipation. What can be number 16, 15, 19, 20 and 18? We don't know right now. However, what is also useful is that you right now understand that the speaker will go round the numbers. So they will start from number 15, and then go to 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. This is already a huge hint because this is how you understand, okay, we will probably start from number 15 and then we will go through the numbers. Understandable, right? So the speaker starts from pointing out at the school building. This is where they start. And then she says, that's where you'll be having most of your classes. Adjacent to it, you'll find the main hall, which is where we'll be hosting most events, such as today's lunch. So the main hall is probably somewhere adjacent to the school. It's either number 16 or number 15, right? But we know that we start from number 15, so probably number 15 is the main hall. However, to be 100% sure, we will just wait until the next sentence. And then she says, on the left from the main building, you'll find a smaller building, which is where the accommodation and welfare office is allocated. Right? So this is our number 16. What's the name of it? She says then, this is labeled as the garden office at the front. So it's easy to spot because it has a green door. So this is, number 16 is the garden office, right? Pretty straightforward, very clear. Now we understand that number 15 is the main hall and number 16 is the garden office. Moving forward, number 17, we already see on the map, is probably a hall name, right? And correct, in the next paragraph she says, the one right next to the garden office is Ursula Hall. It's already on the map, named after our founder's sister. While the other two are Peter Hall and William Hall. Since we already have William Hall on our map, our correct answer for 17th question is Peter, because Hall is already present. So Peter is the correct answer. And remember, capital letters matter a lot in this test. So you either should write everything capitalized if you're not sure of the correct capitalization, or be prepared that William, Ursula are proper nouns and Peter is also a proper noun, so it will be capitalized. Next building that they are talking about is number 18, and this is on the right to the Williams Hall. And surprisingly enough, this is what she tells you in your recording. She says, the building on the right-hand side to the William Hall. So that one, which is shaped a bit like a dome, is the pavilion. So our number 18 is pavilion. And then they jump to describing the buildings on the left, where she says the one closest to us here at the gate is the canteen, right? They're standing at the gate. So the one closest, number 19, is the canteen. This is the correct answer. And lastly, we only have one left. And she says, the last building right over there is the study center. Quite easy, right? We made it look very easy. How did we do it? First, we ran through the whole map. We looked at it. We tried to anticipate what kind of answers are we going to hear. Then we tried to understand, should some words be capitalized or not? And if yes, how? Then we're also trying to figure out where do we stand and how the speakers will be going through the buildings. And we know that they will go through the first number until the last one, from the 15th until the 20th. And this is what really helped us to understand how do we locate ourselves on the map. To the next one.
Now, if I could draw your attention to the back page of your joining instructions booklet, you will see a small map of this campus, Dinglewood. The block we are in now, the Office and Administration block, is located between the Languages Centre, Block 38, and the Physics School, Block 30. That's 3O. These are both on the right side of the plan. The cafeteria, which is open from 7 a.m. to 9:30 p.m, is on the left of the plan. It is between the Chemistry block, number 35, and the University shop, block 33. At the University shop, you can get all you will need in terms of course materials. The Biology block is block number 29, and you'll find the Biology block between the Chemistry block and the Languages Centre. Be careful with the numbers, as they are not always logical. As you will see, there are gardens on the right-hand side of the gate. These are being extended over the next 2 months, and a memorial fountain is being installed in the middle of the campus. This means that the campus will be very noisy during normal working hours. However, the campus will look much nicer when it's all finished. Right, so that's it for your initial campus orientation. At this point, could the language students all follow me, please, and the rest of you, please assemble under the banners which show your main topic of study, and you will be directed to the other campuses.
Okay, let's try together. Here is the new map. And what do we see here? We clearly see that this is, again, either a school or a university campus. And the speaker will actually say that this is a university campus. And again, we start from number 17 and then we go around the numbers until we reach 20. Same stuff. So the recording starts with the speaker saying, the block we are in now, the Office and Administration block, is located between the Language Center, block 38, and the Physics School, block 30. That's 3O. Okay, here, amazing sentence, because we first of all understand where we're located, and we're located at the Administration and Office block, right? And then the other thing that is very interesting is that how she pronounces the number. She says 3O. This is 30. Very clear. However, some people, if they don't understand what is O there, they might anticipate there will be 0, 30. This may be a little bit difficult. So be prepared that numbers may be pronounced very differently. So 30, 3O, is actually our number 17, and this is the Physics School. So physics will be the correct answer for number 17. Then they're moving forward to number 18. And what do we see there? She then starts talking about cafeteria, and she says that it is between the Chemistry block number 35 and the University shop, block number 33. This is our question number 18, right? Block 33, University shop. Shop is the correct answer because we already have university on our map. Now, straight after that, we're going to the block 29, and she says the Biology block is the block number 29. Bingo! Our question number 19 is solved. This is the biology. Biology is the right word here. And we only have left number 20. And a little bit later, indeed, she will say, and a memorial fountain is being installed in the middle of the campus. Clearly, number 20 is in the middle of the whole campus. It is very understandable, very clear to get it, that the memorial fountain is the answer to question number 20. And the rest of the things that are being discussed in the recording are not relevant anymore to the map because we have already solved it. Now we still have one more map to go. Listen to it.
Right, follow me and I'll show you the layout of the museum. From the museum, we can pass through this door near the interactive display into the staff room. From here you can see the steps at the far side in the opposite corner that lead outside into Berwick Street. When you arrive for a shift, it will be much easier for you all to come in the Berwick Street entrance directly down the steps to the staff room. If you come in through the main visitor entrance, it will take you longer to get past security. As you can all see, there are lockers on your right-hand side. They should be big enough for you to put your bags and coats in. You'll get given keys later that work with any of the lockers in here. Over on the other side, past the lockers, is our most exciting area. This is where our wardrobe and makeup will take place. Every shift, you will be transformed from normal people into grotesque medieval prisoners. If you're lucky, you get to be the jailer, but even they rarely bathed in those days. Of course, some of you might consider yourselves method actors, but please do try to shower before your shift. We don't want to give visitors an experience that's too authentic. Now, we do have a staff shower here if you really need it. It is located next to the staff toilets, which are unisex. I hope nobody has too much of a problem with that. Unfortunately, dungeons were not really designed with comfort in mind. You can find the bathroom at the other end of the room from the makeup area. There is also another toilet for the public, concealed just to the right of the door into this room. Let's move back into the museum. We have 3 main sections down here. The first one you pass into when you leave the staff room is the museum. This is where all the useful information can be found, such as dates, number of prisoners, and the kinds of torture that were used. I know it's a lot of information to take in on your first day, but try to learn as much of it as you can. Even though you'll mostly be in character, visitors might want to ask you some questions, and it would be great if you could tell them more about the dungeons. I think it would be more interesting if visitors could learn directly from you rather than having to read about it. As you can see, on the left we have an interactive display for children, and on the right we have a photo booth. This was the original dungeon, first built in 1435. Now, let's pass through into the main dungeon that was added during the Tudor period in around 1570. You might be able to feel that the air is a lot damper and cooler here. That is because we are now beneath the River Stevens. This is primarily the room in which most of you will be working. This is where many high-profile religious figures were held, sometimes for years on end. Depending on the roles you'll be playing, you can either be chained up, free to roam, or, if you're a jailer, wandering between prisoners to keep an eye on them.
Okay, this one might seem a little bit more difficult because this is the plan of dungeons. Such a fancy word, right? Well, what it means? It means that we will be looking at a museum right now, and we kind of can anticipate where we are located. We can be either at the main entrance right over there, or we can be at the staff entrance. So the speaker starts showing the layout of the museum, right? And he says, from the museum, we can pass through this door near the interactive display into the staff room. So the staff room is the first thing that we see where we are going in. This is number 14. Our answer already is there, number 14, the staff room, because this is where we are right now. And also later, when you are listening to the recording, you will understand that these things that he describes in that room are just located there, and you see that on the map. So for instance, he says, from here you can see the steps at the far side. Again, steps are right there. It's number 15 steps. But if you're still not sure whether number 14 is staff room and number 15 is the stairs, when you're listening a little bit further in the recording, it becomes quite clear, because he says, when you arrive for a shift, it will be much easier for you all to come in the Berwick Street entrance directly down the steps to the staff room. So this sentence summarizes the whole thing, and we really understand that number 14 is the staff room and number 15 is the steps. They give us an additional hint. Then we are moving on to the number 16, and since we have spent some time into trying to anticipate what is there, now it's kind of easy to understand that when they go around the building, and they will go around the building a lot, and actually number 16 is a little bit further in the recording, but you will hear that he says, now we do have a staff shower here if you really need it. It is located next to the staff toilets, which are unisex. And Actually, staff toilets is the answer to our question number 16. How do we get it? How do we understand it? Well, we just see that showers are indicated there on the map, and next to them we have the toilets. Quite easy. And then we also see that on our left, the whole staff area has already been described. So we are kind of moving out of the staff area to the visitors area. And on the brink of them, we have the staff toilets. Again, quite clear from the map itself. So we only have 2 things left. And again, we can kind of anticipate what they're going to be. Number 17 is located in the middle of a huge area. So this probably will be a name of that big area, right? And we will hear it. And then number 18 is in the bottom. It is a small thing, and probably it's definitely not a big area, and we again will be prepared to hear that word. And clearly the speaker says, let's move back into the museum. We have 3 main sections down here. The first one you pass into when you leave the staff room, and this is what we have just done. We have left the staff room, is the museum. So, since you leave the staff room, you get into the museum directly, and this is the correct answer to our question number 17, because everything else that he will describe is already located on the map. Only the museum is not located. It's for us to understand. And lastly, we are only left with one simple and very small thing in the bottom of the map, and this is number 18. What is that? So the speaker says, as you can see on the left, we have the interactive display for children. Again, it's on the map. And on the right, we have a photo booth. So opposite to the interactive display, we have a photo booth, which is on the right from them. And this is the correct answer to our question number 18. So this one was a little bit more difficult, but again, take your time to anticipate and to study the whole map, maybe even to visualize it in your own mind, so that when you are hearing the correct words, you can actually spot them and understand, okay, I am here, I'm going there, this is what I see on the opposite, this is what I see on my right side, on my left side, etc., etc. Great! Thank you so much for being here. Again, you can download the whole worksheet with all the tests and maps and transcripts and answers from the link in the description box down below. It's linked as always, and thank you so much for taking time to be here. I will be delighted to see you again here next time. Ciao!